Welcome back to the Elwin channel, a place where we share all kinds of content ranging from life, health, history, and to design. I think we're going to the moon because it's in the nature of the human being to face challenges. It's by the nature of his deep inner soul. We're required to do these things just as salmon swim upstream. Neil Armstrong. Here's our first interesting fact of the day. Centuries ago, many experts and apothecaries practiced a procedure known as bloodletting during the waxing phase of the moon. This was done because they believed it was the optimal way of curing diseases by letting out the bad blood. Interesting fact number 2. Since the tidal pull of the moon on the equator is the strongest, many people used to think, and some still do, that women living near the equator line have much greater volumes of menstruation than women elsewhere. Fun fact number 3. Although it's still a gray area in the field of science and psychology, there are new talks about how the biweekly cycle of the moon might have a slight impact on the circadian rhythm of people who have bipolar disorder. Although it's not 100% certain yet, it is said that the tidal pull can cause sleep disturbances more easily in those who have bipolar, which, of course, we know that bad quality of sleep can affect those with the illness considerably more than those who do not have it. In today's video, we're touching on a topic that has had human civilization intrigued and fascinated for centuries, and that is the subject matter of the moon. What exactly is the moon, and does it really affect us the way Aristotle claimed some 300 plus years before Common Era? You might not be too surprised to hear that there are conflicting schools of thought, some regarding the lunar phase as a non-scientifically related matter when it comes to our health and inner workings, and some suggesting that, indeed, the moonlight does in fact have beneficial effects on certain practices we might pursue. First things first, contrary to popular belief, or simply what one would think is logical, the moon actually doesn't create its own personal light. Not even close. The moonlight that we see while standing here on planet Earth is a mere reflection of the sunlight. So how exactly does it work? And why do we see only parts of the moon at times instead of its entirety? Well, for you enthusiasts, this may be astronomy 101, but the reason we tend to see only parts of it, or half of the moon being lit up, is that is precisely what we know as daytime. The other half being in the dark while the moon orbits around us, we know to be nighttime. And now you see, the moon rotates and literally revolves around you. So next time somebody asks you if you think the world revolves around you, cheekily reply with a, why yes, it kind of does. And while the moon takes approximately 27 days to revolve around the Earth, it takes about 29.5 days for it to change from one new moon to the next new moon. And like I said earlier, there are conflicting opinions on whether or not the phases of the moon truly affect our health, menstrual cycle, mental health and or illnesses, and so forth. And that's exactly where we get the words lunacy and lunatic from, since many thinkers of ancient days believed that the moonlight was enough to make one go mad. Needless to say, they were especially keen on protecting the rulers and kings by keeping them out of the moonlight. That's because there hasn't been too much consistent scientific evidence that any of it is accurate thus far, though sometimes experts have seen patterns from the anecdotes of different studies and populations around the world. Nevertheless, there has been plenty of evidence around the world's ecosystem and different organisms like corals, which tend to spawn according to the lunar cycle. And holistically speaking, many experts have been promoting that the waxing moon is a time of regenerating ourselves and absorbing all the benefits of the moonlight. Take, for example, during the 12 days of the waxing moon phase, our skin absorbs beneficial nutrients like herbs, essential oils, facial therapies, and massages much more profoundly and efficiently. Have you been considering going on a detox program or juice fasting for health reasons? Well, you're in luck, because holistic experts even encourage taking advantage of this particular period to make the most of such cleansing programs and efforts. What's more is that moon bathing is actually a thing. If you've heard of this interesting phenomenon, many have claimed that basking in the darkness underneath the comforting moonlight has granted them relief from bodily inflammations, increased energy levels, as well as an optimal and functional lymphatic system, which is responsible for draining and circulating all excess fluids within our organs. The moon has its own frequency of energy, and although it can't cure, treat, nor affect our physical health the way that ancient doctors thought it would, it definitely has its benefits in aiding our efforts for holistic practices, and as new research might be suggesting even, certain circadian rhythms within our body. Thanks for stopping by and watching this week's video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share our videos on your social media platforms.